I'm Steve Brooks from Brooks Chalky Butte Ranch at Bowman, North Dakota. We have a registered Angus seed stock herd, and we run about 500 cows and breed about 175 yearling heifers each year, and then we farm about 5,000 acres and try to raise all our own feed, which doesn't always work some of these drought years, but that's the goal. My great-great-grandfather homesteaded in this country in 1904, and we've still got that land. And then my great-grandfather was 6 miles south of us, and he homesteaded the year later. And my grandpa moved up where we are located now in the 1930s, and he eventually had a partnership with my dad and my uncle, and then my dad passed away at a young age and started another partnership with my brother and my cousin until 2001, and then my cousin split out. So my brother and I were partners till the end of June, and he passed away, and so now April and I are partners with my sister-in-law Becky. My daughter Skeeter and my nephew Carter are in the operation, and they actually own some land of their own now, and eventually they're going to be the ones running it. I always knew I wanted to be a rancher. I always worked with my dad, and he started at a young age, and I always liked the cattle part way better than the farming part. When my dad passed away, and he was kind of the head honch, we just bought a ranch a month before, my brother and my cousin and I. It was a pretty big undertaking, and my dad and uncle were going to help us. So dad passed away a month later, and my uncle just said, well, you're going to be the boss now. He says, I don't want to do it. So it was a transition, and we had to get through it, and we did, I guess. Some of these other roles I got into, my dad had always said, whatever you're in agriculture, whether it's crops or the livestock part of it, you need to get involved in them. And it kind of started out North Dakota Angus Association, and I moved up to be officer there. And there was a guy named Frank Matichak, actually was one that he was going to annual Angus meetings, and nobody else in North Dakota was. He talked me into running, and we didn't have very many votes, and I didn't think I had a chance at all, but thanks to the people of North Dakota and kind of campaigned for me. And so I got on, and maybe I opened my mouth more than I should have, but moved up through certified Angus beef and American Angus, and same with the Beef Commission. And I always liked North Dakota Stockmen, and always went to the annual meetings and a lot of the functions they had. And so I took a couple years off, and they talked me into running for that. And it got to be a lot bigger thing than I thought. I thought after the American Angus Association, Stockmen's would be pretty simple, but between the stuff at the legislature going on every other year, and I was on the brand board, and we had to raise brand fees, involved a lot more than I thought. If I had any advice for the next generation of ranchers, something my dad taught me years ago, he said you can expect kind of a disaster, a bad year, 1 out of 4. And so when you get a good one, pay ahead a little bit, because there's a bad one coming. And it might be a spring blizzard that kills some calves, or it might be a drought, or it might be markets are low. So you get a good year, put up a lot of hay, because there's a drought coming.